morning, team. Happy Tuesday. Thanks so much for joining us on this week's Coffee with Amy and Kevin newsletter edition. The last few weeks, we've really been focusing on buyers, how to strategize and how to make sure that you create buyer success. This week, we want to shift back to sellers. We've been getting a lot of feedback from many of you that working with sellers right now can be extremely challenging, mostly because in this market, many of them really want to push pricing or really want to push the terms that they're trying to get if they're going to sell. So what we want to make sure that you do, though, is regardless of any market, we always need to remember the basics. And we want you to focus on three things when you're having conversations with sellers. The first is you want to focus on storytelling. So really important to use stories when you're having conversations with your clients. And not just the stories of success, but also the cautionary tales, right? The stories where a seller pushed way too much for pricing and they ended up not getting as great of terms as they expected, probably because they pushed too hard. Making sure that you've got that information and stories to share so that a seller can make a really good decision. The second thing that you need to always remember when you're talking with sellers is to use the data. I know there's a lot of emotion running really high right now and expectations that we can get just about any price in this market. The conditions are starting to change. I'm hearing stories where some sellers think they're going to put their house on and in one day they're going to get 1 million showings and a ton of offers. Some of the stories that I'm hearing now is that isn't happening. They're still, getting some decent showings. Maybe it takes 4 or 5 days to get some offers, and they're not as many offers as they've expected. They're still getting good terms and good pricing, but it's not the chaos that we've seen. So starting to use data as the market starts shifting or adjusting is going to be really important so that you can make sure that you have the information a seller needs in order to make a good decision. And then the third thing that we need to bring to them are their options so they can make the best decision for them. So what you want to do is to lay out all of the options that are available to them, especially if a seller is thinking about pushing pricing. You can talk about what that story or what that option looks like and what the potential outcomes might be. But then you can also lay out the options of what if they price right from the get-go and what the outcome might be or the things that'll happen if they go ahead in that direction. So laying out all of the options so the seller can make the right decision. Remember, it is our job to kind of guide them through everything that is going to create success for them, but they're the ones that decide how to move forward. In this week's newsletter, we've got great information on all three of these topics, about storytelling, about laying out the data, and about laying out all of the options. We've got some nice scripting for you, so make sure to check it out. Let us know how it's going out there, and let us know if you've created success with your sellers by using some of these tips. Make it a great Tuesday, and until next week, you got this.